Hi, my name is Jaime Ibone. We're going to run you through a little chest workout today. Throw a little calves in there. Maybe getting ready for a couple shows coming up, but I'm not sure. But we're going to see what we can do today. Teach some different exercises. First grip, just help me hold on to the dumbbells a little easier so I don't got to worry about them as much. When I do chest, I like to bring the dumbbells down pretty far so I get a good stretch. And the dumbbells, I just find I can't do flat bench too much anymore because my shoulders start to get affected by them. So I find the dumbbells get a little more range of motion without the risk of injury. We'll start with a couple of warm-up sets because me being a little bit older, as much as I hate to admit it, I got to warm up pretty good. The calves I try to get in 2 or 3 times a week. Just one of those muscle groups you can train a little more often. This happens to be one of my favorite ones. I like bringing it all the way down, getting a stretch. And then when I come up the top, I didn't come all the way up and squeeze it real tight. It almost feels like a cramp at the top. But without that squeeze at the top, the calves will never grow as much as it hurts. Now I'll vary my toe position sometimes. Turn them this way. Just by changing the angle a little bit, you focus on one head of the calf more than the other. Sometimes I'll turn them straight on this way, and other times I'll turn them in this way, just to get a different variation. I'm gonna start sweating soon. A lot of people have a hard time bringing these up, but if you learn how to use your legs to bring the dumbbells up instead of trying to use your upper body, it's a lot easier, safer too. Just gonna bring it back and turn them, bring them up. You know what got me into bodybuilding is I kind of went to that first show, like I said, the Southeastern, and I was kind of fascinated that guys could get themselves in that kind of shape. So I basically hired a trainer, and he taught me how to do everything, and I watched myself change, over time. I gave him about a year, and we put on some size and leaned out, and I did pretty well in my first show, which was actually Seminole Classic. I missed the overall by a point, but needless to say, I got hooked at that point, and that's what I always tell my clients. You're typically going to do a show, and 1 of 2 things will happen. Either you're going to do it, and you probably never want to do it again, or you do it and you get hooked. Me, I guess in a good way, I got hooked. So, I've been competing now for 15, 16 years. Come close to a pro card a few times. I've won the USAs as a middleweight in 05. I've won my class at the Masters Nationals. I've won my class at the North Americas. So I've done more than I ever probably thought I would accomplish in the sport. I've won a bunch of shows in Florida, overall Southern USA. I won the Florida twice. I won the Sunshine Classic overall, Southeastern USA. So there's been quite a few, and it's rewarding. I mean, to do a show and put yourself to the diet and the workouts, it's not like a team sport where a team can do well and you can play bad and still do well. With bodybuilding or figure or whatever it is you're going to do, you have to give it 100%, and you're the only one that can make yourself do your best. One of the best benefits of getting in some kind of decent shape and having a job that I have, I found over the years it's really rewarding. So I've helped a lot of people, whether it's lose weight, gain muscle, compete, and to watch someone change, whether it's a 2-month span or a year span or a 5-year span, it's really rewarding. Fortunately, I've been fairly lucky to get some pretty good clients. But at the last show we went to, it was actually Deacon Warner's show, the Mid-Florida. I was sitting in the audience and I was looking around, and the 2 girls on stage that were trophy girls were both my clients. One of the guest posers was my client. One of the photographers was. And I'm looking around and I've realized I've become fairly successful in what I do. And the monetary part's great, but in all honesty, it's rewarding watching all these people do well and knowing that I've something that's a passion in my life, I've kind of instilled in other people. And that's what you want to do in this. You want to make this a passion and believe in what you can do with it and give it everything you can. That's how you do the best you can. I tend to stay in shape most of the year round. Some guys like to bulk up a lot in the off season just to put on more muscle. Me, I don't know, part of it's just what I do for a living, and you know, images a lot. So if I look like I'm in good shape, it tends to keep my business moving more, because I train regular people besides competitive people. So I'm normally no more than probably 8 weeks out from a competition. I'm actually thinking about doing a couple here, maybe in the near future, possibly Masters Nationals again, just see what I could do up there, and maybe USA's. If that doesn't work out, there's the North Americas up in Cleveland. Use a hammer strength one. I tend to like it. Let you get a real good stretch. Again, the main focus being you got to come up on your tiptoes if you want your calves to grow. So I keep my knees slightly bent, looking forward, squeeze that calf real tight, let me get a full stretch. Roll way forward, squeeze it, and you get a stretch. If you don't feel that cramp at the top of each movement, calves aren't going to look the way you want them to. And calves are partially genetic, but people use that for an excuse. You got to train them hard, and you got to train them right. You know, as far as my own show prep, like I said, everyone's different depending on what your body type is like. You know, some people work well on a ketogenic diet. Some people work well on a higher carb diet. Some do a lot of cardio, some don't do much cardio. Me, myself, I tend to work really well on high carbs. I mean, when I'm not particularly dieting for a show, I can get away with eating 500 or 600 grams of carbs a day, and I stay pretty lean without doing a lot of cardio. When it comes time for show prep, I'll slowly cut it down. And that varies depending on how well my body's reacting, and that's kind of the same thing I do with other clients. But you know, this time I went from 600 carbs down to about 250, and I went from doing no cardio to doing 40 minutes 5 times a week, and I just responded really well, and I got pretty lean just from doing that. Now, the problem is that's not to say that that same diet's going to work for someone else, because it won't. Some people it will, others have to do a lower carb diet, and it's not always dependent on how big you are, how small you are. I've got a guy I train that's 250 pounds that if he's not on low carbs and a little bit of fat, he won't respond well. And if I gave him the kind of carbs I eat, he would probably get fat. So, you know, when you look at your own diet or whoever you have do your diet, just keep in mind that not one diet's going to work the same for everyone. It's important to get the negative too. Sometimes in the last set, the last rep, bring it down real slow. Just get a nice negative burn out of it. Okay, another drink of water. All right, that felt good. All you're trying to do when you do a drop set really is force some extra blood into that muscle. You know, if you do 8 reps and you go to failure, you want to get some more in there. You lighten up the weight and just keep forcing it. What it does is engorges your muscle with blood. That's why right now I got a good pump in my chest. Unfortunately, you never get stale like that afterwards, but while you're doing it, you look yourself in the mirror, you're like, look good. So just something you do to shock your body a little bit. The flies are another one I try to vary. Sometimes I use cables, sometimes I use a pec deck machine, a lot of times I'll do dumbbells. Let's do a superset. Basically, you can do 2 different exercises. So we're gonna do some cable flies. I'm gonna hop over to the wide grip hammer strength to squeeze some more blood into it. Make sure I'm centered real good. Take a step back. And all I'm gonna do is balance myself, take a little step forward, and squeeze. So I'm gonna come here, out, forward, squeeze them together. This one's real good for bringing that detail work in your chest. I'm going to come right over here and squeeze real tight. So go here, back, and squeeze. I'll show you a little exercise I discovered on accident one day for my calves. It's actually a back machine. You're supposed to do pull downs on it. But I was struggling one day and I came up on my toes a little bit and I felt my calves. So I kind of turned it into my own personal calf machine. And what I do is I just sit underneath. It's kind of like donkey calves, but for some reason I feel these a lot. What I actually do is actually just take the machine and pull it right off the ground. Squeeze my calf real tight at the top. And just come back down. Keep a nice steady motion on it. Squeeze. Back down. You may want to check it with your gym and see if you're allowed to do this before you do it, but I can't think of anything more rewarding than watching someone get in the best shape of their lives. I mean, I have a girl who did her show for the first time, actually at Mid-Florida. She didn't win, but she went from 145 pounds to 113 pounds in a 16-week span. To her, she won because she did everything she needed to do, and she looked the best she had looked in 15 years. So when I can help someone do that, and I see the joy in their face and how happy they are and the sense of accomplishment they have, it makes me feel really good about what I do. And if you've ever seen me at a show, I'm the first one to be yelling my competitors do well if they win. I'm the one that's jumping up and down the stands and probably more excited than they are. So I take it to heart because I know what it's like to go through it, because I've been doing it for so long myself. And when I won the USA's in 05, and I didn't go there expecting to win, I just went to do my best. And when you get called first place in a show like that, or any show, and you know what you put yourself through to get in that position, I mean, I dropped right to my knees, which may be a little over extreme, but I can't even explain the sense of accomplishment. It's better than probably just about anything I've ever done, besides maybe having kids or stuff like that. But as far as something you could do every day for a lifestyle and for a living, and help people reach their goals, I can't think of any other job I'd rather do. So I'm truly blessed in that nature. You know, if you ever want any help or ever just have general questions, I mean, the best way to get hold of me is just like everyone else on Facebook. You can look up my name. It's Jaime, J-A-M-I-E, and the last name is spelled I-B-O-N-E. The company's name is Ironclad Physique, and I'd be happy to do anything I can to help you get to your goals, no matter what it is. Should be it for the workout. A little abbreviated, but I don't think it's enough. So, hope you liked it.